Jujutsu Kaisen Shibuya arc has officially arrived. And the very first fight out of the many that will take place is none other than Mahito against Muta Kokichi, or as you probably know him as Mechamaru. This fight sets the foundation of Shibuya arc and what you can probably expect from it, as every sorcerer that meets their end will have to face their many regrets. This very idea has been present in the story since the very beginning, but this arc in particular is where this becomes a prevalent theme. Because of Muta's heavenly restriction, he acquired massive amounts of cursed energy that allow him to control cursed puppets, which are called Mechamaru. The price, however, was a physical body so weak it couldn't even handle sunlight. From being separated from his sorcerer friends and Miwa, who he deeply cared for, he became a mole for Mahito and presumably Geto in exchange for a healthy body by idle transfiguration. This, however, did not last for very long, as the moment he got his body back, Mahito immediately decided to engage. Now that both sides were free from the binding vow that they couldn't violate, the fight between Mahito and Kokichi Muta begins. Muta throws several Mechamarus at Mahito, but with his enlarged arm, he destroys them all with ease. While at first it looks like Muta escapes Mahito, we see Muta rise up using Mechamaru mode Absolute. With the current made by Geto, the battle has now turned into a battle of attrition, as the only way he is able to survive is to communicate with Gojo and tell him about the Shibuya plan. However, he would have to exorcise Mahito first. Using the cursed energy that he has accumulated over the years, he shaves off 1 year's worth of cursed energy to use the Ultra Cannon at Mahito. However, he manages to escape by shape-shifting his feet to increase his mobility. The fight gets intense as Mechamaru pummels everything in sight as Mahito tries to escape by transforming into a fish. Muta uses 2 years worth of cursed energy by doing Miracle Cannon, which forces Mahito out of the water but ready to strike. Mahito gives Mechamaru a right hook, which makes Muta admit that if he isn't careful, his armor will be destroyed. He inserts 1 out of the 4 tubes he has into Mechamaru, which activates a technique called Charge, which after shooting at a flying Mahito, a part of his soul managed to be destroyed. He keeps adding pressure and not letting Mahito breathe, as Geto says that his cursed energy release might be on par with a special grade. He then uses a 5-year charge with Pigeon Viola, which puts Mahito at the defensive. Just as things are looking hopeful for Muta, Mahito uses Domain Expansion, turning the fight upside down. As Mahito puts him down and tells him that he underestimated how much cursed energy he was willing to put into this fight, Mechamaru stabs Mahito in the back, mid-domain. Muta reveals that one of the tubes contains a technique from the Heian era that helped the weak to protect themselves from a domain expansion. New Shadow style, simple domain. Geto elaborates that this technique can make the caster of another domain vulnerable. With Mahito seemingly exploding, as Muta sets his sights at a spectating Geto, Mahito breaks through Mechamaru's armor, ready to obliterate Muta. With 1 tube left, Muta tries to get him with a direct hit, as we cut back to Miwa talking to a sleeping Mechamaru. She says despite how much the loss of one of her comrades would be painful, she wishes that every sorcerer can get closer and know each other better, similarly to the Kyoto Goodwill event, and she promises to meet him one day as we find a bloody mess with Muta presumably down for the count. Now that the only individual aware of their mischievous plan gone, their path of destruction in Shibuya on October 31st is now officially guaranteed. Despite the many fights in the series being more grandiose and bombastic with more memorable characters, this fight in particular holds a special place in my heart, as it is the fight that truly changes how the series progresses. With one of the main themes of Jujutsu Kaisen being sorcerers having to face their regrets, Muta's journey is one that exemplifies this theme in my personal opinion. A guy like Muta, who ever since he was born, he was weak and couldn't be able to do things that we as normal human beings are able to do without putting a second thought, like going outside. He tried in a sense make a deal with the devil, and in this instance Mahito and Geto, with the hopes of being able to survive and reaping the benefits that he always longed for, all for the sake of meeting his comrades and Miwa. And with the power of hindsight as a manga reader myself, this fight should be in the conversation for one of the most important in Jujutsu Kaisen, because if the outcome of this fight was any different, not only would have the Shibuya plan be thrown out the window, but Gojo would have encountered his supposed dead friend Geto even sooner than they have planned. The best way to describe a fight like this is tragic, as Muta had a chance to fix his sin of becoming a mole and put a stop to the imminent danger that is coming to Shibuya, but ultimately he bit off more than he could chew with Mahito. In the mere fact that this is the first fight of this arc is quite frankly scary, as things will go more and more intense to the point where the ceiling of how high things can truly go will disappear completely. All this to say, I thoroughly enjoyed this fight from an adaptation perspective as well, and think that MAPPA did a fantastic job overall, and I cannot wait to see what they have in store with the next couple of episodes. But enough about me and my opinion. What do you guys thought about Mahito against Muta / Mechamaru? Did you enjoy this fight? Did you find it engaging? Were you disappointed by it? What are your expectations for Shibuya moving forward? I'm very interested to see in your comments down below. Here are 2 videos that I recommend you watch immediately, and with that, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day wherever you are. See you guys in the next one.